Oh, God.
And then referencing Neo from The Matrix, there's another site that you can go to, which is the Mary Sue test, or the Gary Stu test, and it's got all these things that you have to answer, and once you've answered them all, you go to the bottom, and you see whether your character is a stereotypical Sue or not. Good enough. So I think that in the making of this site, the author went out of her way to find all the tropes and just kind of stick them in at one point or another. And this isn't even the worst. This is just, one of the examples.
Gets so much worse.
So,
you want to wrap this up, my bud?
I'm gonna finish reading here. It has come to my attention that some readers don't like my art. They say that it's all anti-Semitic. Is that sucks me? Excuse me? Excuse me, but Jews are like that. What, Jews are anti-Semitic? What? And racist.
What?
I had a black classmate in my class once, and he was really stupid, lol. That hurts me a lot. Really, a lot. Oh, it hurts you, huh? Do you know how long it takes me to write my stories? Do you think I like being stuck at home with nothing to do but writing my soul into my art? My favorite show just ended, and I was on Team Jacob!
Of course you were.
Writing is the only thing that makes me happy. But if that isn't good enough for you people, then I'm going to call it quits. Yes, that's right. I won't finish this story. You forced me into this. Happy now? I want to thank Pretty Snape 5 and Tinker Snuggums for beta reading, but I just can't take it anymore. So long, Internet. I won't miss you.
And scene. And burn it in fire. God. What do you think?
That thing I referenced earlier, a bunch of guys trying to get through the door at once. I've got too many thoughts, and they're all trying to get through the door, and none of them are making it because they're all crowding each other. So, what do you think?
Well, being anti-Semitic against Jews in artwork is not cool. I don't even want to touch on the racist part. There's so much to say that there's nothing to say, if that makes sense.
I suppose that anybody listening formed their own conclusions, and you have to keep reminding yourself that this is all, like, jokes and stereotypes and stuff, and to this site's credit, that does a really good job. Like, how much quicker to land yourself in hot water than to say things about Jews and black people? Susan Wojcicki, don't ban me. I'm not going to be around YouTube much longer anyway, but still, like, the Wojcicki is coming.
Oh, no.
Whew.
Guys, for real, though, I did this a couple of times. I read through a couple of them just for craps and giggles, and it did not have anything that bad at the end. Honestly, I read that paragraph, and I don't know if he's gonna keep it in, but I had to stop and ask Puffin, like, dude, you sure you want to read this?
Just screw it.
I am taken aback that it actually had that there.
Well, I mean, again, it's reflective of reality, like how people used to write, and I guess how they continue to write. I don't know. Again, my thing is focusing on good fan fiction so that the bad fan fiction, doesn't
Dies
completely, well, it's never going to die off, but doesn't completely overshadow those who really actually can write well.
Fair enough.
So I just hit the back button here. Is this thing going to open? Oh, I guess not. Hang on, let me refresh this. It's thinking. Okay, I thought it was gonna go open up loading. Please wait. Oh. It just made a new story. Hang on a second. If I were to click fanfic, would it then go back to the original screen?
Oh no, this is the same story.
Oh, well now it's a person named Riverview. I think
you just...
Settings? Aha! There we go. Okay, I just hit settings and it takes me back to the original area. It looks a little different now. Not much different, but a little. So now I'm thinking modify one of the ratings to the exclusion of the others, or maybe 2 ratings and then keep the others kind of low, just to see, like, the outstandingness of one. Like, for instance, in the story I just read, it seems like the cliche rating was a lot higher than it showed here. And the ego rating. Like, violence was relatively low. I mean, really low. I don't understand why it was rated so high. So,
I mean, aside from ripping off a human's pair of testicles and handing it to someone else out of their collection, it...
I think you read that in there.
What?
I think you read that into there just because you could.
No, it literally said they gave them their human balls, and then they added them to their collection.
Well,
it literally said that word for word.
Yes, but they're balls of containing humans inside instead of Pokemans. Like, they weren't actually...
It said human balls.
Okay, yep.
And little people are stored in human balls.
Okay.
They take 9 months to gestate, but they are there.
I see. Alright, anyway, so I don't know if actually changing these rating settings makes a difference, honestly. I'm thinking I should take all of them down to 0, except for 1, which I should maximize.
Well, for the sake of your channel, let's do cliche.
Ooh, nice. Very nice. Alright, so, hang on. Is it this side? I'm just going to put it over
cliche
there.
all the way up, and then everything done,
Okay.
0.
So, cliche is all the way up, and... I don't know, do we still want to do Pokemon? The hero was clearly not Pikachu in this, by the way. What happens if I type in my own hero name? I guess I'll put in Luna, because Luna tends to be a very stereotypical name. And the sidekick will be...
what name?
A stereotypical fanfic writer name. And the female sidekick will be Umbreon.
Oh, no.
Did Ketchup
Rule
and...
34 is going to have a blast with that one, Chief.
Did Ketchup and Static even show up in the last story? I think some of these never show up.
No.
Huh.
I think they really only show up if the violence rating is super high.
Okay. Well, Luna's superpower is going to be a darkness. And now, with the cliche rating at its highest, I am going to click Make a Story. Actually, one more thing. Setting. Caveman era, fantasy era, future era, medieval era, modern fantasy era, Victorian era.
Let's do modern fantasy.
Sounds good. I mean, that's...
then you could get the good cliches.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's consistent with Pokemon. Also, intros, sometimes, I'm gonna make it always. I want those intros.
Always.
Alright, and I'm gonna keep Serenity as the author just for the sake of consistency.
Okay. I'll start reading for a little while.
Okay.
What?
And I'm...
What?
I know, but I scrolled... The reason I scrolled through it was to show that now there's a bunch of little, sentence lines and stuff, and it's not like long paragraphs as the last one was.
Oh, you see those 2 quotation marks way at the bottom right below the word Umbreon?
Is that the switching point?
Yeah, we'll make that the first switching point.
Okay. Since I finished last time, I'm gonna let you start this time.
Alright. Author's note. Just to inform everyone, I don't own any of the Pokemon characters in this story, with the exception of the OCs. Don't steal them.
So typical.
They thought the story was over, but was it? No. Here are the next cool adventures. Nothing was darker than the stars, the old sage had told Luna. And he also told Luna that virtue is the best property in a person, and that Luna could be the legendary chosen one that the prophecies of old and dank and darkness had spoken about. Oh yes, the prophecy. That was what made Luna lay awake at nights. Of course, Umbreon had asked what was up with Luna. Of course, Luna would always say. There is nothing going on, dear. Go back to sleep. And in their minds, they'd fill in, you don't have to worry about the terrible burden I will have to carry for the rest of my life. Because everyone knows prophecies have a nasty way of coming true. And this one was about to come true spectacularly. Author's note, this is more goth than usually, but I really like it this way. Yeah, so did the last author. It would look like Mewtwo had sought Luna out, ever since Luna's parents told him that he was in fact a half-vampire, or a Dampier. He had feared being discovered by Mewtwo especially, after Luna remembered the terrible secret of his past. Umbreon looked with concern at Luna. Jinx! Jinx! Jinx!
Okay. Well, this is what we get for turning the tropes feature, the stereotypes feature, up to 11.
Cliches.
Or cliches, yes, excuse me. And I have nobody to blame but myself for putting in the darkness power. I wonder if that was like preset to, if you put down the what are they? The case sensitive characters, it has a preset for darkness because it knows.
I mean, it could. That would be awesome if it did.
I feel really sorry for any actually cool, vampire fans out there. There is such a thing as cool vampire stuff. It's just so rare nowadays. It is. 1 year for Halloween, I actually did a reading of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and, he did a pretty dang good job, honestly. But, geez, this is what it's come to at this point.
At this point, it's literally just I can gesture to Resident Evil 8 at this point for vampires. Lady Dimitrescu.
I haven't seen that at the time of this recording. Do they do it well?
She's a 9'6" MILF.
Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Mother I'd like to fuck.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So,
That's what she is. Even freaking Markiplier is foaming at the mouth over it. Obviously more of a joke than anything, but still. That is what vampire culture has come to. I should have chose my phrasing better. I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, we're, I gotta choose a point where to go to. I guess after all the Lunas. Now, I'm not gonna yell all the Lunas in here. I'm just gonna do 3 of them and call that it. Luna did not wait to answer her. Answer who now? Umbreon looked concerned with Luna. Jinx. Okay. So Luna did not wait to answer her Umbreon, who was yelling Jinx, despite being an Umbreon. He turned on one of his newfound vampire powers and listened to Mewtwo's commands. Mewtwo was commanding his lackeys to search Luna out. After Villain had given them cookies and manically asked Mewtwo had discovered the truth behind Luna. I really struggled to read that sentence. And he told his henchmen that he had Luna. Mewtwo told his henchmen. His lackeys smiled wickedly and took their weapons and rushed into the shopping center. They had no concern for any of the shops.